Sara. I'm a member of the Lobster Mobster Poetry Collective. Again, to Kavarna, fabulous venue for a reading. So I have 3 poems that I'm going to read this evening, and as I was on my way here, I realized there's a little bit of a theme to these poems. The first poem I'm going to read is called Shades Mountain Revisited. It is sort of a response piece to a poem called Shades Mountain by Everett Maddox, who I am in love with. If some of you know that I'm in love with Everett Maddox. He died a very, very long time ago. In like 1987, but I read this poem and I just absolutely adore him. It's a great piece, and he's very much sort of a nihilist absurdist that just wants to drive his car off a cliff with his friend in it. And so I read a poem sort of in response to that, and I was in this sort of a place where I wanted to drive my car off a cliff. And then I went to this music festival this weekend, and we're on the beach. It was great. Paul Simon closed the show, and I was so happy because it was Paul Simon. It was awesome. And really, sort of the theme of all of these pieces is just about being exactly the person that you are in the exact moment that you're in it. And so that's sort of the overarching theme for all of this. This first one is called Shades Mountain Revisited. Your eyes flash red, reflecting autumn leaves as you glance to the right, see the jagged edge, see my profile carved against guard iron, the rose banks to the left, the knuckles of your right hand go white against the ink-black wheel, your bicep pulses twice. I clamp my hand around your knee, urge you to press the pedal forward, press down hard and swerve. A sharp right and the blacktop will unwind, will ribbon away behind us. The white lines merely paint with no authority. We can break free, bleed out across the margins. This little car pretending to hold us will crash us through. The trees, the derailed dreams, the identical boxes of Fraternity Row. We can watch the dorms tumble down like dominoes. In a crimson tide of fire, Everett, you and I can say no. No to hierarchy, the flimsy paper declaring mastery. No to expectation, no to stolen rooms where we lament our insignificance, no to glowing houses full of daughters we will never love. Racing toward the cliff's sharp edge, we are not blind. We see the smoke and flare and are not moved. Metal, flesh, or ashes, it does not matter. Take my hand. We can plunge into the silent fire together. There is nothing for us here.
Without my beard. Even today I was like, Sara, tonight, remember to take your beard, and then I just don't remember.
The next piece is called Corporate Ladder. The high dive at Green Street Pool hovered 8 feet above the shimmering water. I watched other boys and girls clamber up the ladder, their eyes wide open. Some would stand and stare down the length of the board. I'd watch their chests expand and cave in, watch their hands fluttering at their thighs, count their fingers curling and flexing, counting the reasons why and why not. Some kids would shoot off the board like bullets, firing into a buckshot scatter of droplets. Others would creep forward on stiff legs, crouch really low, and sort of tip themselves over. The bravest kids would prance to the edge, bounce several times, then launch themselves head first into front flips or master dives, break the surface of the water with a straight line of their bodies. For some, it was one fluid motion, up the ladder, down the board, into the air, arms and legs helicoptering every which way, a spastic freefall punctuated with giddy screams. They would hit the water with a resounding smack, like a humpback returning from a breach, and come up, red-faced and sputtering. I watched them all jump from my place in line at the low dive, the board maybe 2 feet above the water. On my turn, I would prance and dive or run and jump, knowing that everyone was watching, the high diver, not me, knowing that my tiny splash would be annihilated by their giant splash. Sometimes I would stand off to the side by the high dive ladder and look up, try to imagine myself way up there. Sometimes I felt brave and would start to climb. I would stop almost at the top, change my mind, and shimmy back down. One hot July day, I didn't change my mind. A petrified walk, my hands vice-gripped to the railing, my chest fluttering, a white flag in a storm. Like a traitorous pirate, I walked right off the end of that plank. Stiff and straight as a pencil, my arms glued to my sides. I sank under layer after layer of water, so far down into the crystal blue. The pressure locked my chest immobile. Silence solidified into a physical shape, the epitome of isolation. I clawed and kicked at the water, face turned up toward the distant sun until I burst free. I swiped my hands over my eyes, my head swiveling, searching for the ladder. I swam to the side, scrambled out of the pool, and stood, shaking. I watched through the curtain of water dripping over my face as kids jumped, one after the other, like lemmings, all smiles and neat tricks, unafraid to fall from such a height. Thank you. Thanks. Bring it on. You rock. You're fabulous. Thank you so much.
Beer stool.
Stool.
Get my beer stool.
That's right. That's right. This last piece is called Archaeology. It's a poem I wrote a really long time ago, actually sitting at Java Monkey one afternoon. It's been revised a bunch, and for some reason, I haven't read it in a while. It's been, I don't even remember the last time I read it, but I was on the way here tonight, and I was like, I feel like I just want to read this, and it sort of sums up my trip to the beach and just feeling that, like I was talking about earlier, just being in that place where you're like, I'm just happy. I'm just happy where I am. I like my job. I like my friends. I like my life. I like my dog. I'm good. I'm good. It's called Archaeology. The sky bleached white, the sum of everything we try to discover. How do we unlearn hurt? I pressed my foot hard against the blonde stair, leveraged my weight against gravity, and climbed. A rhythmic sound loop of falling water begs entry into my darkest places. What will I find there, behind my sandstone walls, beneath the tangled debris? The phoenix gives itself over to fire, then rises up reborn, whole and unscarred. I too dig through what is left of my past, sift the ashes to find gold. I take quiet stock of what refuses to burn, place my hands on those things. I study every nuance, the shades of blue, sharp red lines, the big and small of my entire life. I rise up weightless, a prism scattering rainbows under a bleached white sky. Thank you.
Yeah.